All right. We made it. The preseason's done. We're out of here. The real season begins right now today as the team starts to look at the film and go through their evaluations of all their players. We're going to get into everything that I saw, go over my notes, and I'm going to tell you the real deal. Like it, take it, or shove it. I don't care because I'm just glad that the preseason is over, folks. Welcome. We're going to get into it. We might even have a special guest coming up, so get ready. Welcome to RGR Football. Welcome back, everybody. A preseason win. The preseason's over. If you want to start looking ahead to the season, you can help us by helping yourself by doing the thing that you want to do anyway with DraftKings Sportsbook. Just use that code RGR21 and you will get $200 in free bets just for signing up with us. We appreciate you. I'm looking forward to it. There's a lot going on. I've got my notes in front of me. We're going to go over some of the stats, some of the things that stand out, and I know you guys have questions. We will get them tonight. But for the first time, because this is a different kind of thing, we ran out of time over on the Locked On Chiefs show, and Chris decided to jump over here. So everybody welcome Chris Clark into the chat. This is different, huh, man?
It is different. I don't have to do anything. That's the awesome part. I just get to sit here and talk, so I can't really complain.
We got no rules. I just can't cuss, and I'm pretty happy tonight, so I got to watch out for that one. Folks, thanks for being here. I see all the regulars, Cole and Gary and Holly. Aaron's here. Darius, welcome back. Javonsi, welcome back. Miss Holly, thank you for your insight. And hey, we got out of it alive. I know there's a couple of injuries. We're going to talk about those here coming up in a sec, but nothing earth-shattering, and that's the big thing. Trent McDuffie, coach said a couple of minutes ago, he is in the concussion protocol. He is not alone. MVS is in that concussion protocol also. And unfortunately, that makes things a little fuzzy because you never know when somebody's going to actually get cleared. Now, I took it from what I saw on the field is that Trent looks pretty good and in pretty good shape. I really think that it's not going to be a long wait for him. MVS, I'm a little more concerned about because we didn't see the injury. We didn't hear about the injury. It's been very hush-hush until this point. But want to welcome it back, everybody. Make sure that you hit that like if you dig what we're doing and the fact that we're live for you on a preseason Thursday night game. Make sure you sub to the channel because that's how we grow. We're looking for 35 or 40,000 this year, because we really got to get going. There's a lot of people coming after this whole niche of being in Chiefs Kingdom, and we're going to maintain our lead on it. I do want to thank you guys for all the support. You can buy the gear in the RGR store. You can hit us with the super chats like FLDB did. Frankie, appreciate you. And for all your help, I got a question for you, and I'm going to reach out here this week over in the Discord. And if you guys want into the RGR members Discord, you just got to sign up for the memberships at the rookie level or above, and we'll get you added because that's where all of our hardcore fans hang out. It's a great community over there. And community is what we're trying to build as we get ready for another run at another Super Bowl. That's what I'm here for. So, hey, Jason is a little surprised, but Jason, I'm glad. Every now and then we got to throw you a curveball. FLDB, thank you again. Chris, welcome. Sean, glad you're here. Tatum, what's up, man? Bandwagon Dallas Texans fan. I like that. I'm going to get you here. Loved what I saw a lot. Only one kind of bad drop by Watson. And you know what? Watson can't be perfect. He's had a really good preseason. I'm going to take that. Chris, did anything stand out to you about Watson tonight?
No, and I think that's surprising, to be quite honest. I think that he has stood out the past two games. And I think we got kind of spoiled about it. I think he's still on this roster. I think that he's going to be a guy that could actually contribute to this team this year. And when you start looking at all the injuries that have hit the wide receivers in the past 2 weeks, they may need him.
Let's hope. If you guys saw our piece on Juju, I'm not concerned about him. He was catching passes pre-game, and that was encouraging. I talked with Matt Derrick real quick, and he said that he's pretty confident as well. We'll get confirmation on that when we can.
I think that MVS was out there too. I don't know that he was catching passes, but I think he was actually on the field from what I saw or what I heard.
Awesome. I am glad to hear that. Jason wanted to say hi. And Bandwagon, thank you for the super chat. Appreciate your support, man. Kyle said hello. Everybody. I know this might be trippy, you guys, because we don't have to do our segmented kind of thing. Chris is going to enjoy the free flow over here for a bit.
Yeah, different for sure.
It's definitely different because you never know what we're going to talk about. As long as, again, I don't cuss, we'll be okay. Can Nazi make the practice squad? I think so. I think he should. I don't think he belongs on the 53 yet.
Yeah, I think that I agree with you on that. I don't think he has differentiated himself enough. And I think the other thing that is not going to play into his favor, I think that if they didn't have a good safety set, that maybe they would look at adding more corners. But I think that you're looking at a situation where they're going to have to keep, all the 4 safeties. And I think that it's, Bush, I think, has played well. So I think it's just going to all go through.
He's been a pleasant surprise for me. I did not expect him to be up to par on the defensive side. Yeah.
I've been impressed by. He missed the tackle tonight. That's going to happen, but he had a great special teams play, which is what he was brought here for. And if he can do that, that's going to be what you expect from him, and that's what you're going to take.
I'm totally with you, Brandon. Does anyone want to drop Henny and promote Bichelle? Nobody wants to win ball games. I mean, I know there's the youth factor, and yes, I mean, Chad is like a crooked smile away from breaking and never walking again. So like,
he's almost as old as you are.
I know he's pushing it. Hey,
yeah,
you got to give the geriatrics their due. All right.
Yeah.
But you don't want to take any chances with them. I'm actually pretty disappointed. I, like you, Brandon, it sounds like you had hopes. I had hopes for Michelle to actually make some progress. I don't see it. He looks like the same quarterback he did last preseason to me.
Yeah, I don't think he's made the progress that he needs to in order to actually challenge for a roster spot. I'm not going to be shocked if somebody picks him up because this is a QB-driven league, and somebody's always going to need a backup. And there are teams out there that will keep 3 QBs. I just can't see Kansas City being one of them this year.
Yeah. There's just too many fish to fry. There's just too many spots that need to be there.
I would say this, like if you think that Kansas City is going to keep 3 QBs, the only way I see that happening is if they go draft a QB in the 5th or 6th or 7th round. Then maybe they would keep a 3rd QB because they invested something in it. But at this point, we haven't seen enough for there to be that type of want in this scenario.
Agreed. I don't know if that comes in for Kennard or not. It's going to be borderline, folks. I think we're going to hear about Kennard late, is my guess. I am going to walk you through my notes. They're not quite as deep as they usually are because I was delayed in watching the beginning of the game, so I had to catch up the whole game. I didn't get to hear anything or any of the side details. But Dirty, thanks for the support. Appreciate you. Jason, thank you. Lot going on here. Gunner, let's see. Darius Harris left the mark early. How much playing time do you think he'll see with the ones on D? Unfortunately, until there's an injury, he won't, Gunner. They're going to run Elijah Lee at the Sam if and when they're ever in the base. And I don't think they're going to go in the base unless they absolutely have to. So Titans, Browns, that's about the 2 teams that they're going to want to do that against. I don't know. If somebody does get hurt, though, I think he's shown that he's, A, with the program enough, and B, he answered the challenge. They brought in Jermaine Carter. They brought in Elijah Lee. They drafted Leo Chanel. And all those guys could have displaced him. And I think Harris is still making this roster, and he fought back through that and improved his game.
No, I definitely think he improved his game. I think he's on this roster. And the other thing that he really brings to this roster, and then a lot of people never take into consideration, his special teams play. I said it on Locked On. I mean, that is a huge key for guys that are on the back end of the roster. And he is a core special teams guy. So I think that that's going to help him on this roster. I have to ask a question because we didn't get into this on Locked On Chiefs. So I have to ask you really quick. I know you want to answer questions. Do you think Shelton still makes this team? I know we talked about Saunders.
I think he does. It's thinner than I thought it was, but I think he still does, only because you got to have the depth, and I just don't see it from Stallworth. It's between the 2 of them, and I don't think there's enough justification to keep 6 DEs when you could keep a guy that's got that experience, and in the end, frees you up to actually attack the run in a different way than you've been able to do in the last few years.
It's true. If he can get back into playing shape, I don't think he's quite there yet. So I think that's part of it as well. I just don't know. If they don't keep 3 QBs, then I think that they may be able to keep 10 defensive linemen. But that's been my biggest question all along is how many defensive linemen are they going to be able to keep?
Yeah.
Because I thought they were going to keep maybe 9 or 10 offensive linemen. That's going to make it hard to keep that many defensive linemen.
I'm with you. Will, Locked On Gone Rogue. I like that one. We might have to do that. Is a shirt I can make. I can't make the Locked On shirts because they own the copyright. But hey, maybe we'll see. Jonathan, are we going to be adding Chris more regularly in order to up the beard quota on this channel? Well, he's the only one that can do it because Dan and I cannot grow them very well. Gary's pretty good, but nobody can.
I can't really grow one. I people keep saying that I'm growing one. I'm like, I don't know. This is about a month and a half. So,
oh man, this is 3 years. This is the way that works. But hey, nobody can keep up with Cole. I know Cole's live right now too, guys, or else he'd be in here with us. But yeah, he's got the beard market cornered for Chiefs Kingdom. There's no competition there. Rich, thank you. Appreciate it. We do our best to give you all angles that we can here on RGR, and especially when it's live. You just got to roll with me. I am going to hit my notes, I promise. I just want to get through some of these questions or they will pile up so fast I will not get to them, you guys. Why do you think that Watson is filling in on Juju on some of these plays? Is that a similar role that we can expect schematically? Not really. I think what it tells me, and Chris, you tell me if I'm stupid, but it tells me that Watson knows enough of this offense that he can play multiple roles and they're comfortable putting in there, and that's a positive sign.
Wait a second. I can actually tell you you're stupid.
Yeah, hey, it's a whole different channel, bro.
Yeah, that's awesome. Wait a second. Oh, I could get used to that. No, I think you're right. I think that he knows the roles. And I will say this, like, one of the things that I get to do sometimes when, especially preseason games, when it's right before, it's a 7:00 game, I get to listen to some of the preseason stuff with Mitch Holthus and Andy Reid. And Andy actually talked about how important it is for the wide receivers to know all three positions and how big of a key it becomes, because even some of the back end of the roster guys, like a Watson and like a Fountain, need to know the tight end roles as well, because they need to know, in case all the tight ends go out in the game, what can they do? How can they help? What are they going to be able to do in that scenario? And the bigger thing that I think Watson has shown is that he has figured out not only how to run all three of those positions for the Chiefs and how to be successful on special teams, which is big too, but he has also got to the point where he knows where to sit in zones. That if you watch some of his game and where he's been most successful, it's because he's found soft spots in zones.
Yeah.
And that's huge.
It is. And that's the key. And Jonathan, something or nothing, Sky doesn't seem to be racking up the catches in the preseason. You're right. Not a problem. They don't want to put him on tape yet. I think he showed you in that one, was it a punt return? That he's got what he needs to get. Like
two punt returns.
They don't need to show any more of him. He's the secret sauce in this burger. He's the secret weapon that's going to break things open, I think. So I think that's why. Mike, have you ever heard of 3 straight road games without a bye week in the first? I have not, and I honestly didn't pay attention to that. So, Cole, I just tweeted one of your videos to my stepsister while the game was concluding, I guess. I kid you not, a tribute to Lenny was cool. I'm glad. I thought that was a really neat way to do it because it was so specific and that image is so iconic. The only thing that Patrick could do is have a smoke in a something in the locker room, but I hope he doesn't do that, actually.
Yeah, me too, because I'm sure his wife would kill him.
Right. I know, he's got babies.
Yeah,
Mike,
but the other side of it, I was just going to say, how cool was it? I didn't realize Grenade did that as a tribute to Lenny Dawson. They actually brought out a photo of that too.
That's awesome.
That was during the first half, so you didn't get to see that part of it. But
yeah,
I didn't realize that he gave that tribute to Lenny as well during his playing days. But awesome nonetheless.
Kyle, thank you for your support. Appreciate the super chat. Folks, if you want to support the channel, that's the easiest way to do it. But check out the RGR store too. We got a lot of cool designs in there. And this one's for you, Chris. What is the ceiling for Pacheco this season?
It's hard for me to say because with the way I see him run, it's not going to shock me if somehow he finds his way to take over if CH gets injured at some point this season.
Yeah, I agree. If that happens, I don't think you can run McKinnon as your starter. You just can't handle the volume. So he will.
No, but I guess what I'm saying is that I would not be shocked if he stays the starter, even if CH comes back.
Okay. I see what you mean.
I just the way he runs, if he's able to stay healthy and he's able to play the way he has shown in the preseason, and he gets a chance to start at any point in this season, I just don't see he's going to be giving that role back up.
You could be absolutely right. Thank you, Kyle. With Bushman's injury, will they run 3 tight ends until Bell or Bushman return? No, I don't think that really had the triple tight end stuff was not dependent on either of those guys. I think they're both specialty personnel, I don't think it's going to change anything. Micah, what's Rojo's future? I think he's going to look great in a Carolina uniform.
Okay, so really quick, do you think he's actually going to get traded then?
I think they're going to try, but I mean, who's got the best back that gets injured every season?
Well, right, that's where Christian McCaffrey.
That's where I think he ends up. Whether they try to scoop it here as a trade, which I hope that they would get, or if he just ends up signing somewhere there, that's kind of the way that I feel. Big Dave, get it into my notes. Thank you for transitioning me. I appreciate that. I do feel like Chris and I talked about it on Locked On. Go check that out. But I do think that this was about Rojo in his value to someone else. I don't think this was them like flipping the switch to try to make him like a fixture in the backfield for the Chiefs. I just don't see that it has it in there. So it is what it is. I think it was a good venture and a good signing, but it just didn't work is the way it worked out.
Well, and I don't think that they ever expected to have Pacheco. Like if Pacheco wasn't here, I don't think that it's even an issue.
Yeah.
I mean, he's just he surprised them. Obviously, he wasn't worth the more than a 7th round pick to most people, but we'll see whether or not Kansas City gets more out of it than that.
Absolutely. Let's see. Gray or Fortson is tight end 2?
I still think it's Fortson. They may list Gray, but yeah. I still
Everybody
think
here knows my answer. We are together on that one. Gringo in the Dominican kitchen. That sounds good. I'm kind of hungry now, man. Howdy, guys. Thanks for all you do. Thank you, sir. Appreciate the help and the support for us. We will keep knocking it out. And don't worry, this is the breakdown show because we're post-game. I will still have a breakdown episode for you guys on Sunday night as we get ready for the cutdowns that are coming. And Q&A at 6 p.m. Monday, just like always. Nothing changes because I am at the pain in the butt and I like to do everything at the same time all the time or else I'll forget. How many of this year's draft class make the roster? I think right now, 7-ish?
That's 10, right?
Yeah, the top 5. Jalen Pacheco.
Yeah, I think the only one's not Chanel. I mean, or is that top 5? Well,
He's
yeah, I guess that would be top 5. I think the only one that's probably not going to make the roster is going to be Johnson, although you could make a case for Kennard as well.
Yeah, I think
so. I think 8 make it.
Okay, fair enough. Jason, who's impressed the most this season? Ryan and Chris, who's impressed the most?
I'm going to go with Watson.
Of the rookie class, yeah, he had the longest shot for sure.
No, he's not a rookie.
Oh, wait, which Johnson are you talking about?
I said Watson.
Oh, Watson. Yeah, I'm thinking Jalen. You're thinking Justin.
Yes.
Okay.
Sorry, gotcha. I'm thinking the wide receiver, not the corner.
Yeah, that's fair. I'm with you. For me, it's probably I don't know. It's going to be Pacheco, to tell you the truth. Like I thought he was going to be a viable guy, but I thought he'd come in and maybe practice squad-ish. I mean, he looks better than I expected him to, and I watched his film. So, and hey, if you guys missed it, go back and watch the last episode with Mike Burton on here. It's pinned on the channel page. Mike said it then, and we talked about the Scarlet Knight package because Mike's ready to block his ass off for him, and I'm ready to watch that. So let's hope that we get that package. Two guys from Rutgers. You can't really go wrong that way. Drinking the Pacheco Kool-Aid. I'm glad you are, Darius. When I spit real hard, I see Larry Johnson, not Kareem Hunt. Whose peak could he get closer to if he develops? I don't see his style at all like Larry. I see what you mean about maybe the visual, like how he looks. He ran a little harder tonight, but Larry was a freaking bulldozer, man.
Right.
I don't know. I'm trying to think of somebody that he actually looks like to me, and I have trouble.
I still think he runs like Hill personally, but obviously the number 10 is also a little bit deceiving. But it's going to be a lot of fun to watch. I'm not exactly sure what he's going to look like and what he's going to do this season, but it's going to be a lot more exciting than I thought it was going to be. Kansas City, if they can get CEH involved in the pass game, which I still don't understand why they haven't done that, and they have Pacheco and they have McKinnon and they have all the weapons at wide receiver and all the weapons at tight end, this offense is going to be scary. It's going to be hard to stop, and they're going to be able to do whatever they want most of the time.
Yeah, I mean, because
the offensive line has played well too. It's not just the weapons; it's the offensive line is a lot better too.
Okay, I got you, Fonzie. Christian, you're spoiling me. You guys are awesome. I appreciate
Doug in
that.
Kansas is questioning why I'm on RGR. That's fine. I get it.
Hey, he was bored. We didn't get to cover everything on Locked On. Locked On, you guys, if you don't listen to us over there, please go check it out. But it is a format. It is a 25-minute show in 3 segments every day of the week. We've been doing it for years because that's what the Locked On Network is. So sometimes we don't get all of our stuff in. Sometimes we break it into episodes, and sometimes we just have to swallow it and try to come back to it later at another time. But Chris was available, so we just decided to jump in here. We got a ton in here, and I'm going to cut to some of the questions so we can get them because you guys are basically going through my notes except for my KU Kamara love. I'll get to that later. Thank you, Doug. Appreciate you as always. Will, with tackles as valued as they are, any chance that they find an upgrade at the swing tackle and cutdowns? It's going to be very difficult. I hope that they do, but I don't think they can. Do you, Chris?
Cutdowns, no. Trades, maybe.
Yeah, I'm with you. Who's the better blocker, Gray or Fortson? Gray by a touch.
That's the direction I would have gone to. Yeah, mainly because he actually played that position in college, so he's got at least a little bit more of it than Fortson does.
Yeah, and honestly, I think it's just from the H-back stuff. Like, in line, I think they're both about, I almost said something else I shouldn't have said. Next time, you guys. The member stream, I will say things the way that I actually talk. You can ask Chris. It's very different from what you hear on here. Do you think
don't even get me started?
I know, right? Do you think that we hit the market for an inline tight end? Anyone in particular come to mind? I don't think so. I think they double down and they if they acquire another tight end, I hope it's Tanner Connor, who is the next Travis Kelce in terms of his athleticism. He's a pass-catching tight end. He can't even look at a block and complete it successfully. So that's not in the cards. But I think they want more weapons at the position because, quite frankly, if you line up the 3 tight ends they have in line right now and you make them put linebackers on the field, you can run 2 plays. They'll flood it into base, maybe even more, and then you can split them all out. And then you got tight ends, our tight ends, on linebackers, and you win that every day of the week, every play of the game. I'm ready.
I know this isn't a question, but I just have to really say thank you, bandwagon Dallas Texans fans, is awkwardly waiting for the Bet Online or Cliff Bar ad plug not coming. So
not tonight. You guys, RGR's DraftKings did that early. We're out of the way. We're all good. I probably do have some more sponsors coming on this year, though, so I'm going to keep it tight, I promise. Harris looked great and a good special teams player. You're absolutely right, Doug. And I think we both feel he's going to make the 53.
Oh, thank you. I was hoping you were going to get to this question eventually.
Listen, Sammy's great, but I can't listen to him. So I honestly don't know exactly what he said, other than it's a different level. That's all I know. Tell him what you think.
He just said that Rodgers was on a different level than Mahomes. And okay. I really don't get why. The thing I don't ever understand about this is why do you ever expect players to try to put down their own QB to back up Patrick Mahomes? Because that's just not going to happen. I mean,
right.
Sure, Tua is the most accurate QB that Tyreek's ever played with. Sure, Aaron Rodgers is on a different level than Patrick Mahomes, who you won a Super Bowl with. Okay.
All right. I'll live with it.
Right.
Javonce, Thank you, sir. Appreciate you. It's time to go. You are absolutely right. Welcome, RGR, Chris. That's awesome. Locked On helps me get through the workday. Well, I'm glad it does, man. I can't wait. So you listen to both of them all the time? You're a glutton for punishment. I'm sorry you have to listen to me so much, Javonce. Dang.
Yeah, I don't know how you deal with Ryan's voice so much.
I know, right?
That's just me.
You've been doing it the longest.
He does not listen to the Locked On NFL Draft Show. That's what it is. So he doesn't.
Yeah, because hey, I don't talk nonstop on that one. They ask me questions. Croc asks me questions. I'm not always chattering on that, I promise. Thank you, Javonce, though. Appreciate you as always, dude. Christian, thank you very much. Appreciate the support. I don't think we've gotten one from you before, so I just want to shout you out. Thank you, sir. Everybody give Christian a hand. Thoughts on Rojo after the game? I think this is the hardest he's ever run, and I think because he knows he's on the trade block. That's my thought. Yeah?
Okay. Yeah. Well, does he know that he's on the trading block, or does he know that he's just looking for another team? I think he's trying to show that he can still play, and he has the ability to play in this league. Okay. I think that they want to trade him, but I still don't see why you'd get something for a running back at this point. I mean, maybe somebody's going to throw it out there.
See, I'm not the only one that says it, folks. I'm not alone.
I don't like. There's just so many running backs that are good enough to get you by. It's just really hard for me to see.
Agreed. Thank you, Christian. Appreciate you very much. Random question. Thank you, Oscar. But I have a second round pick in my fantasy draft. Who should I take, assuming Jonathan Taylor goes number 1? So you are in a 10 or 12 team that is standard scoring, not PPR. Then I'd probably go Josh Allen.
Probably.
I mean, I know you play more fantasy than I do, though. Like, are wide receivers really worth more than quarterbacks in a standard league? Because I don't know.
I don't play standard leagues very much. I generally am playing in QB high scoring leagues, so
Me too.
It's throwing me off with the thought process of taking a QB less than the first player in the draft or the first couple players in the draft. But I also do auction drafts, not snakes, so that also throws me off a little bit.
Remind me not to ask you any more fantasy questions. Jeez.
Yeah. Well, and
Oscar,
then I'm doing a Survivor League this year. I'm sorry. I wish I had a better answer. I don't. Running back, I'm not sure who it's going to be at this point. You could argue Christian McCaffrey, but there's a huge injury history there.
Now, Oscar, I know I feel that way in PPR, so I'm pretty good about that. But other than that, I would say probably the next pick.
He does say it's PPR.
It is PPR. Okay, cool.
Yep.
Then yes, then I would start looking at Jamar. If you have number 2, I would look at Jamar because Burrow's going to get back. It was an appendectomy. I don't know if they'll be as good as they were last year, but they're going to be good. So a lot of people seem to be higher on Justin Jefferson, but that's because of the catch volume. I just don't trust Cousins, so I don't know. I'm a little biased there, Oscar. Sorry. This is why Dan's the fantasy guy on this channel because I don't know enough. I play IDP leagues, you guys. I mean, yeah, I'm the throwback. Cold 8, do you see Boodle getting cut? He hasn't really shown a lot in the preseason games. I think he's right on the edge. What do you think, Chris?
I think he's cut.
Okay. I'm hoping he makes it.
I know you're hoping he makes it, but I think it's Lamont's spot to lose.
Yeah, he does play teams. I'm at work and I didn't see any of the game. Did Gordon do anything?
No.
Sorry, Kevin. He had a semi-decent block on one play.
He ran across the field. I saw him running across the field a couple times. That's about all.
Didn't hurt himself. Kennard on the practice squad. Doug, I hope so. I don't think he's earned a spot on the 53, and I don't think anybody's coming to get him. So you can get him there. If they don't even want him on the practice squad, then you just got to chalk it up.
I don't know that they can get him there, but I would love to have him.
You don't think? Okay.
No, because I think what you're looking at is I think he would have gone. I think somebody will take a flyer on him because he would have been drafted somewhere in this last part of the 5th round, 6th round, or 7th round. Somebody will take a flyer. There's not enough good offensive linemen going around. Yeah, he hasn't shown a lot, but who cares if he's a bottom of the roster guy for you if Kansas City doesn't keep him?
I mean, Andrew Whitworth said tonight that the Cowboys reached out because of Tyron Smith's injury. I mean, he's 78 years old, and they're still looking for him. That's the state of offensive line in this league right now.
Yeah,
and now I caught up to you about bandwagon. Thank you, bandwagon. I still won't do it, although the Cliff Bar thing, I do kind of like that. But yeah, I am a sucker for a Cliff Bar. But yeah, see, Chris is watching live. I have to work through the stack here. Now you guys get a little bit, how the sausage is made. Nice support, Javonte and Christian. Thank you, Frankie. Julian, glad you're in the house. How you doing, man? What's happening with McKinnon? I didn't get to watch the play. He looked fine. I didn't see but like a handful of plays. Did you?
No, I think they were basically keeping him out. I don't think that he is in the same kind of boat as CEH when it comes to playing on this team, and I don't think that they're going to risk him, especially with his injury history.
Yeah, I'm with you. Mike,
he's one bad hit away from having to have Jones be your number 3.
Right. Yeah, that's exactly it. And they cannot take that risk. Mike, winners and losers from the entire preseason. Pulling my notes up here again. But, I mean, Justin Watson has to be the big one, right? On the winning side. I don't think Leo Chanel is a loser. I think the fans overinflated the expectations. I think he's exactly where he should be. Because I see a lot of people getting bitter about why isn't Chanel doing anything. It's because he was always at a disadvantage. He doesn't play backwards. He's got to learn that. But, man, I think he's excited when you talk about blitzing the run or coming after the quarterback in the A-gap. I'm super pumped for him.
I'm a little disappointed. I think loser for the preseason is still Kennard.
Yeah,
I expected more from him. I expected him to actually be able to maybe challenge for the right tackle spot, just because it looked like he could be good at coming out of college, and he took part in Lyman University, and you would think that he'd be able to be better than what he is, but then he's just gotten in with a third string and hasn't done anything.
Yeah. Yeah. I wish I had an explanation. BL, I know he had a rough outing, but I am crazy to be excited about Josh Williams' growth and progress. Has good positioning, almost got an good tackling. I think you're absolutely right, and I don't think Chris would disagree.
No, I don't disagree. I think that's spot on. I think that you're looking at a situation where he's just got to grow into his position.
Yeah, and I think he will get there. Like I said, he's completing somewhere like week 1. I thought it was about 80% of the rep. Now I think it's about 90% of the rep. Like, and again, he's coming from what is the equivalency of kindergarten to college football. You know what I mean? Like, he's got the bigger step. He's got as big, if not bigger, a step that Turk Wharton had. So, like, there's a long ways to go, and I think he's going to get there. And I too, BL, am very excited.
And the bigger thing is he's playing a huge premium position too. So don't forget that. I mean, Wharton is playing a position that's a lot easier to get by on your grown man strength and your ability there. He's playing corner where that's a premium position. You're going up against the best of the best in athletes, and that's going to be rough.
I thought you said old man strength there for a minute. I thought you were talking about me. Damn.
No, I didn't say you have old man strength.
Right. Tex, hope you're doing well. So the more I see Michelle, the more I think we should trade Henry. I'm glad you guys are pumped for him. I don't see it, but man, if you guys are right, then I'm all for it. Yeah, and Big Jack, I'm sad to see that. I don't think it's a big deal for McDuffie, but like, unfortunately, once you get one in a season, it's easier to reconcuss yourself. That's my concern about whether he might have to miss time later in the year or something. So,
yep.
Norm, thoughts on players on the bubble? Did anyone secure a spot tonight?
Go ahead.
Saunders. I mean, he had a spot on my 53 before tonight, but I think he probably showed people that yes, he can be consistently decent enough that he should make this roster.
Yeah, and his bigger thing is, can he be healthy? And you're not going to know that until he's on the roster. So, yeah, I think that he was on the roster as of last week. In my opinion, I think with the way he played last week, I think he made himself a roster spot last week. The other one for me is, I go back to what I said. Lamons, I think, is on the roster, and Harris is on the roster, which are two guys that I wasn't sure of going into this game.
Yeah, that's fair. Yeah, good for them for powering through. I know somebody had something, but I lost it. I scrolled too far, you guys. Somebody mentioned Brian Cook, and yes, I am extremely excited. And yes, you've only seen the beginning for him.
Right.
It's just a scratch on the surface. Thoughts on LA's JC Jackson out versus KC week 2? Yes, I'll take another thank you. Can he miss the second game as well?
I'm not so sure he'll be out, but we'll see.
Yeah, okay.
Time frame sounds like he could be back for that game.
If so, I'll take it.
Oh, absolutely.
Hey, I'll take a stub toe the next time. Oh, will you really? Okay, good. So on location reporting coming at you, folks.
Yeah, I will be there for that game.
Dre, I hope 89 is okay. He tore it up. Yeah, like that's Bushman. He's just been waiting for an opportunity. I hope that he's okay too. It's a broke clavicle, Dre. And Dre, you and I and Micah and a bunch of the other Colorado Chiefs fans, we are going to try to get together this weekend. Or not this weekend, this year, this season sometime. I know Mike wants to do it at Don's. I don't know if you guys know where Don's is. I've only been down there once, and I wasn't quite sober when I went there, so I'm going to need directions, but it'll be okay.
Wait,
but yeah.
You're not being quite sober? That doesn't – okay, never mind.
I usually do that after we record, man.
I understand. You're always drinking something out of cups, so you never know.
I know, right? This is just seltzer water, although I am digging hop water lately. All you beer fans, if you know that I'm a brewer, like – they started making seltzer water that's hopped. Totally non-alcoholic, but it's super tasty, and I'm into it now. Just one more thing to spend money on. But Dre, yeah, I hope that Bushman's going to be all right. I think it was a clavicle. Yeah, it was a broken clavicle.
Yeah,
it is returnable. There's going to be some back and forth on the roster, back on the roster, not on the roster, that kind of thing. So, Holly, yes, Holly agrees with you, and I like that. Cold Ape had another one, or did I already answer this? Do you think we should keep Kamara over Kando? I'd like to see them both on the practice squad to be to be brutally honest with you. Herring's better than both
Take
of
your
them right
KU
now.
glasses off for a second.
They're not even on. They're way over here.
Okay.
You got to have them. They exist. I can't really get away from it. Justin.
No, I was saying take your KU glasses, not your glasses.
Well,
take your KU glasses off. I haven't seen anything from Kamara. I guess that's really what I was saying.
Gotcha.
I saw a little bit more from Kando than I saw from Kamara.
Okay, see, maybe on a consistency level, but like in terms of like splash play, I would argue the reverse, but that's me. Justin, thank you for the super chat. Appreciate you. Great to see you on here, Chris. Everybody likes Chris tonight. That's awesome. I'm still here too, you know.
Hey, can all of you that are giving me love here go give me love on like iTunes? They're Locked On reviews. I'd love that.
Here,
and
hit the
YouTube
like
comments on Locked On. That'd be great too.
Right? Hit the like and the sub and the bell here, and then go leave a comment, a positive comment, a 5-star over on the Locked On Apple thing. I watch daily. Do you guys have any idea if Dunlap will play week 1? Also, Ryan, I'd like to see you do some KU football coverage too. Yeah, Kent and the guys asked me to come on the KCSN Jayhawk one. I honestly, I still have folks in town and near and close to the staff, but I haven't gotten a big update lately. I'd probably sound like an idiot because I spend so much time on this team. But I will try, Justin. And
do you really want to beat your head against the wall talking about that kind of football, though?
Hey, you know, what are you going to do? It's not like
sorry, Justin. I'm a KU hater when it comes to the football team. My bad.
What do you mean to the football team? In general, you are. But to answer your question, Justin, I don't know about Dunlop. I am a little concerned about a flare-up on an Achilles and the guy who played 2 preseason games pretty sparingly.
Yep.
But I looked it up, and I haven't seen him have an Achilles-related issue in the past. So hopefully it's like a one-time thing. That is my hope. Thank you for the support, dude. Appreciate you. Razgriz, does Cordell Powell make the roster? Looks like he's improving. I agree. It does look like he's improving. I don't think it's enough to get on the roster.
Yeah, I'm not so sure that he's even on the practice squad at this point, but I think he's looked better.
Mm-hmm.
But I think that there's other players that they could look in. He hasn't improved enough from where he got drafted, in my opinion, to continue to try to develop him.
Okay, I'm with
you. Is
you.
he going to be a guy that they can step in, that he can step in and be a 5 or 6 wide receiver for him next year? That's kind of the way I'm looking at practice squad guy. Is somebody like that can step in and do something, and I just don't see it with him.
Yeah. Brandon Bentley, so you think that McKinnon is behind Pacheco 100%? I do not. When it comes to the regular season, I think they'll trot out McKinnon out there in certain third down percentage. Mm-hmm. If they need to run the ball, I think it will be Pacheco, though.
Yep. And I think that they're going to use McKinnon a lot for all those nice passing plays that he's very good at. So I agree with you.
Okay, I'm with you. Let's see. Jason, thank you, sir. Appreciate you being here, and thanks for the support, Jason. Adam, Chris, prophet is not without honor except in his own country. Okay. Is that an inside joke you guys have?
That not to me. I have no idea. So you're gonna have to explain that one, Adam.
You're in enemy territory, I guess, over here, dude. Miss Holly, thank you very much. Great to have Chris on here. Here's some love for Ryan. Thank you, Miss Holly, as always. Say hi to Tommy for me when you run into him in the liquor store tomorrow. It is their day off tomorrow, mostly. I mean, he's a punter. It's always his day off. Let's be honest. Thank you, Holly. Appreciate you as always. Dre, you guys and Cole should do a collab. Yeah, we have something in the works, and you might even see a whole new venture from us together. Like there's a lot going on there. So you guys just give Cole the personal support that you can. I know his channel's great, but he's hurting physically, and he's got some things going on. So just give him some support if you would. Wow, I was listening to Lockdown and forgot that the live on RGR. I know it happens, Tracy. You guys ever seen that movie? Chris, have you ever seen that movie, Almost Famous?
Yep. Long time ago, but yeah, I've seen it.
My favorite line from that, Jason Lee, the bus is leaving and he's coming out of the bathroom at the gas station. The bus just takes off with him. He's like, hey, it's easy. I'm easy to forget. I'm just the lead singer. It's fine. So yeah, people forget about me all the time, Tracy. It's fine. I'm always going to be here. When you guys try to go to sleep at night, you'll go, oh, RGR was probably talking about something. Who's going to be the main punt returner? Do you think it's Sky?
I do. I don't think that there's anybody else that is going to take that job from him.
I'm with you. Tracy, it is a collarbone for Matt, it's sad to say, but it is. We're going to wrap it up here, guys. My kids need to go to bed and they need to see me, or they're going to come in here pretty quick. So when somebody enters concussion protocol, does that mean for sure that they have a concussion, or does it mean that it's possible that they have a concussion? So they enter the protocol for safety. That is exactly it. They show a sign or multiple signs of you enter the protocol. It's daily checks, it's cognitive checks, it's balance checks, it's all kinds of things. Even if you only saw like one thing, like did I black out for a second, or did somebody see what?
I don't think it is. I mean, I get what you're saying. I think that symptoms can lead to that, but I also think it's, do they take a hit that somebody thinks could have given them a concussion? But that's not really a symptom, I guess is what I'm trying to say. So like McDuffie's hit tonight would be a great example where he went low on the guy and hit him out of bounds. Well, he had a really hard hit against his head. That put him in the concussion protocol.
Gotcha. Okay.
But I don't think he had any symptoms.
Well, it makes me wonder if
anyway.
I was going to say, it makes me wonder if we missed something because we only get the broadcast angle, So I wonder if somebody saw something that we didn't in the way he was walking back to the huddle or something like that.
But I do know that at least in the past, and I'm sure they haven't changed it because they're just trying to get better and not take things away. They've had an independent neurologist on site watching the game. And so in my mind, that's a play that maybe it just took him a little bit longer to get the call down to the field. Hey, you need to take him out of the game to check him for a concussion.
That could be true.
Like I said on Locked On, at that point, you take him out of the game. There's no reason for him to go back. I mean, he comes out for a series. There's no reason to put him in there another time.
I'm with you. Yeah. And you are right, Jack, though. Like, it doesn't have to be a diagnosed concussion yet. It's the suspicion of one. And then they go through a series of checks in order to get out of it. It's be cautious first and then like work your way out of it.
Yep.
All right, you guys, we're going to wrap it up here pretty quick. Are you going to have a roundtable talk with someone? Yes, definitely. There's going to be that. Thank you, Jason. Russ, how do I give? If you want a super chat, that's the easiest, man. At the bottom of the chat window, there's a little $ icon. You can just throw that in there, and it'll highlight you, and I'll definitely see it in this software. It's super easy to see, so that's the easiest way. But we're gonna wrap, so don't do it tonight. Come back on Sunday night. I'll be live then, and I'll be live Monday night at 6 Central, like I am every week. So don't waste your money tonight. Appreciate the support, Russ, but come back there on Monday. That'll be easier. Braden, thank you, sir. Appreciate you. Let's see what else. Dre's out. Brandon's out. All right, I think we're going to wrap it, folks. Miss Holly, thank you. Night Hunter, glad you're back. I think there are a lot of probably more undiagnosed concussions than we think, so I'm all for the safety checks. I agree with you completely. That stuff adds up fast, even to guys that you don't even recall. Demaryius Thomas, they believe his brain showed signs of CTE without having a series of concussions or anything like legitimate, like that was significant. So it can happen to anyone. Season 2. Yes, it's super quick, Doug. It's almost here, and I'm ready. Thank you, FLDB. Thank you, Adam. Thank you, Jason. Thank you all. Gary Holland, the OG, one of my first subscribers, still in here. Appreciate you, Gary. Chris, thanks for jumping in. It's a different feel.
It is a different feel. It's really weird not having to have commercials and not having to worry about how much I say because time just keeps running.
Right? Yep. We just keep on rolling. Folks, you have a great night. Enjoy the rest of the weekend. There's a lot more games. If something breaks, we'll let you know. And Sunday night is when you will see me next. We'll talk to you then.